Olá, estou aqui com o pastor Colin Standish. Ele, na época em que o pastor Desmond Ford era o coordenador do curso de teologia na Austrália, era o coordenador do curso de educação na mesma universidade. Depois o pastor Colin foi diretor da faculdade Columbia Union College também, trabalhou no Weimar e fundou o Heartland. Mas eu queria perguntar para ele nesse momento, pastor Colin Standish, o senhor foi contemporâneo e colega do pastor Desmond Ford. Como que a teologia de Desmond Ford, apesar de ele ter sido já banido de nossa igreja, porque ele ensinava contra o santuário e contra uma criação recente em 6 dias literais, como que a teologia dele permanece em nossa igreja ainda? Vestígios, em que forma?
Well, you've got to understand he's 5 years older than I am, and he would be 87 now in age.
He's alive, right?
He's still alive. And Desmond Ford is still strongly keeping to the message that he believed was the truth. Not a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and when he went to be a professor at an Anglican training college for ministers of the Anglican Church in Queensland, he had to give away his membership to the Seventh-day Adventist faith.
But are we cleansed from all Fordian theology or not?
Oh no, it's much large amounts. Desmond Ford changed the theology of the South Pacific in an amazing way, but also he went over to America and he changed their theology too. That's how powerful a man he was and brilliant as he was. And then he was in Europe and he did exactly the same there, especially in those parts of the world, the Western world. He really has made a great change, and you'll see it in Andrews University, you'll see it some of the other colleges and universities in the United States and Canada.
But now we are changing the fundamental beliefs for the positive, putting 6 literal days, because that was part of Fordian's legacy. And also we are putting it clearer about the sanctuary that Jesus went into the most holy place at 1844. So that is a recovery from the Fordians' influence, right?
I don't think so. Look, as I have said, I only use the baptismal vows and the statements of belief. I go back to 1872. That's what I use. Sister White was there, and obviously she was attent with that.
Where can we find these baptismal vows of 1872?
Well, I have it, and if anyone wants to write to me, I'll send it or email it to them.
How is our church doing today? Do you think, how do we evaluate its progress, and what do you see for the future?
I believe, especially in the Western world, there is very terrible issues in our church today. They were affected most by Desmond Ford. He didn't seem to go too much to the other countries of the world, and therefore they have stood far more strength into the Adventist faith. I go to South America, to Africa, I go to India and some of those other countries of the world. I find, and in China too, by the way, that the messages, I've just come from China, and with some of the old pastors there, or they were preaching wonderful messages because they were relayed in English to me.
And how do you see this discontentment of the North American division and their movement in emerging church? And yeah, could this lead to a rupture? We hope not.
Well, it is getting stronger and stronger, and they're saying it is a blessing. Well, maybe they just like that kind of form of Christianity, but it's not the truth of the Bible or the spirit of prophecy. And those who are following in those areas, they're going to be deprived of their eternal life.
Okay. Thank you very much, Brother Standish. Pastor Colin Standish é pastor aposentado. Qual é a sua idade? What is your age now?
Well, I'm 81, October 27. If I make it to there, this, I'll be 82.
Okay. We would like to thank you very much for your service and your preaching for the present truth. Muito obrigado por seu serviço e sua pregação da verdade presente. Que Deus te abençoe.